Major moves. We going all in, like we got nothing to lose. We making moves. We making major moves. We making moves. We making major moves. We making moves.
Warning, I'm not a financial advisor. Don't blame me or any other random person that gives you some money tips for any of your financial decisions. I provide information based on research that may guide you to taking a deeper look at a particular company. However, in no way am I suggesting to invest or not invest in that company. Your decisions are that of your own. I present information that is readily available on the internet, and I piece together the story to create and provide a more holistic concept to create a bigger picture. This information is for educational purposes only. Ultimately, I'm a guy in a Spider-Man mask, and you should not take financial advice or information from me.
What is up, everybody? What is up, everybody? I'm glad we're back together again. I came looking dapper because I knew what I was getting ready for here. Today we're talking about real estate, and I want to thank you guys for continuously coming back to my channel. It's been a couple days now since I've been on the mic, but like I said, though, I'm a real estate investor, and I do have end of the year taxes, which are due in April. So I'm trying to get all my expenses together here so I can send all of that out to my accountant. So the way I look at myself in my life, I guess most people consider themselves, I work in aviation, they would consider themselves their job title, and then they also do this on the side. I consider myself an investor first. I'm a real estate investor, and I'm learning how to trade and scalp. So I consider myself an investor. What I do in the rest of my life, I work for an aviation company, so I'm in the aviation industry, but I prefer to consider that second. I'm an investor first, professional aviation personnel second. So I'm going to go through the list with you guys here, what we're going to be learning here. I'm going to give you a high level 40,000 foot view looking down now on the world. You're that puppet master just looking down. Shit. All right, here we go. Sorry, don't mind my craziness. I've just been so excited to bust this down for you guys here. All right, so today will be a high level, as I was saying. Just picture that. Okay, so here are some of the things we're going to be going over today. The different types of real estates. We're going to be going over the boom and bust cycle, the type of corporation or to structure yourself within a corporation, the different cryptocurrency real estate projects right now that may or may not work for you. Determine the best area for you to buy a mortgage broker versus a bank. We're going to be talking about interest rates and keeping track of spending and earning. And the last thing we're going to be looking at is taxes. And again, this is a high level, so I might put out a video on each of those individual components there. That way that we can spend some time with it. This would be easier, like if I was to do, I guess, a Zoom call or something like that and have some people jump on the line and we can discuss this, and you guys could ask your one-to-one questions, not one-to-one, but a group question. That way we all can learn, and because it's a lot more difficult to just free flow and put this out there on my own. But all right, let's just start though. Questions make it easier. So the different type of operations. You have a single family home, which is what most people live in. You go down any cookie cutter road, you'll see a single family home, 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 2 floors and a basement. They consider that 2-story house. That's a single family home. You have one family in there. Then you have duplexes. Duplexes are good. If you guys are ever going to buy a home, I would recommend starting off with a duplex for those of you who don't have homes yet. Duplexes are good because if you have 2 houses side by side or top and bottom, if one person is not there, you've only lost 50% of your income. That's a hard one to swallow still, but it's only 50% of your income. If you lose 2 people, that's 100%. But if you have one in there still, then that individual is still paying for your place to live. If you live in that side there, this individual potentially here, you're here, they're there, they could be potentially, depending on where you're at, your location, what the market rent is, then they end up paying for your mortgage, your utilities, and you'd have some left in your pocket still. It's cash flow. That's what the term cash flow is. Then you have triplexes, 3 places. That could be just 1, 2, 3 side by side. It could be a building up top, depending on the structure. Triplexes are good because if you lose one person, you've only lost a third of your income, 1/3 of your income. Sorry. If you lose 2 people at that point, and if you lose 3, but I'm sure you can see where I'm going now. The more you scale up, the less of an impact it has on the income you end up having in your pocket, your wallet, on a monthly basis, your cryptocurrency account, depending on what you're investing in, on a monthly basis, right? That, and I'm not even taking into account the ROI, return on investment, year on year, and at the end of your 5-year maturity term. Then you have multifamily, which I consider multifamily, fourplex. Fourplexes are great once you go beyond fourplexes itself and you move into the commercial realm when you're out of the residential properties. So fourplex, I do own a fourplex. I'm actually in the process of renovating that right now. Then you have REITs, real estate investment trust. That's more working with the stock itself. So you have a business or a company who has several real estate companies under their umbrella, and they invest in all of these and create a fund for you. Then there's also the potential of a developer, whether you want to purchase land itself, clear that land out, develop that land, and build something on there, or just develop that land and you choose to sell that, lease that land to somebody else, whether that entity is an individual farm, whether that individual is a business of some sort. There's many ways you can structure it. You can structure this thing any way you would like. Whatever you can create in your mind, you can do this. As long as the other person says, yep, that works for me, and you are happy with the structure you created, and you guys have spoken about it, and you're transparent about the entire thing, then shake on that and sign the contract and move on. Then there's also flipping houses, where you purchase a house with the intent to not live in it. Depending on where you are in your life, you may end up living in it. For my cousin also does flipping. He lives in the house for about 2 years or so while he's fixing it up. After he's done fixing it up, then he flips it and sells it to somebody else. Most, I guess, savvy investors are in it to get it gone as fast as possible. Whether that's a few months, a few weeks, depending on what's needed. You might buy a house where it just needs a paint job. You might buy one that just needs, a couple walls repaired, some flooring done, which extends the scope of the work itself. The more you have to do, the less you want to pay for it at that point, right? If you find a derelict property, derelict means something not in the most amazing of looks, or the most amazing of structures. The structure would have to be good, but the most amazing of, what I look for for properties, what I'm trying to say is something that's not top end, something that could be top end, because I want to put the time and the effort and the work in to make it top end. But the reason you want to buy something that's not so amazing, because just like everything else in life, you buy low, you sell high. Real estate is no different, right? Don't be a retail investor where you're buying high to live in that property, and then you end up with high inflation, and there you are now getting your ass handed to you. You buy low, you sell high. If you can find a house, so here's the strategy essentially. If you can find a house amongst other houses that cost, say, $1 million, $2 million, say $600,000, $700,000, depending on wherever the heck you are, you find something that's amongst those kings of houses that's cheaper than that. If you're in an area where houses are $500,000, $600,000, you find something that's worth $200,000, $300,000. Why? Because someone was eager to get out of it, someone couldn't afford the payments, something happened to it, or something catastrophic to that individual. But you walk in and see the value, and you're like, okay, the structure looks good, the hot water tank and the furnace looks good, the roofing is good, the windows are good. Did I say hot water tank? The hot water tank is good. There has been no severe insurance claims on that house, because now you can buy it low. You can buy that house low. So it's a lot cheaper than the other ones. So you buy that house low, spend some money on it to repair it. A lot of people might ask, I know I did before I got into this, How do you have the money to buy this stuff? How do you have the money to buy this stuff? So let's go back a bit. Most people, when they think of real estate now, I guess like myself, when I first got into it, I kept thinking, how do I get the down payment? How do I do this? How is this going to be possible? I was younger at the time. I was like, how do I get the down payment for this house I'm looking for? I struggled with it. I wasn't so amazing with money in my younger years. But one of the questions I didn't ask, and that's why it took me so long, is not how do I get the down payment, is who can I get the down payment from? Excuse me. There's nothing that says it has to be your down payment. So that's where you reach out and you learn how to raise capital. Talk to your friends, talk to your family, talk to people within your close proximity circle to you. All right. So I had gone through real estate coaching. I paid my coach, and this is very low. I paid him $150 for each coaching session, so $150 an hour. With taxes came to $165 an hour. And man, the wealth of knowledge I had gained is just insane. I had done weekend courses with my mother, and this is for that course was to buy and hold for rental properties. Then I had taken a course with my mother, and that was a $5,000 US dollar course, and that was a weekend course where we had learned to wholesale properties. There's many different types of real estate, so I guess I'm going to go over what my bread and butter is, but I can talk to you guys about the different types as well. Would make sense. So wholesaling is essentially you're the one going out to find the property itself. You're acting as the intermediary between the buyer and the seller. The seller is a motivated person to get rid of that house. I gotta get rid of my house for whatever that reason is, and the buyer is, I want to buy your house because you're motivated to get rid of it. Chances are you're going to sell it for under market value. Good strategy. So then you have the wholesaler, which is in the middle of the two of them now. The wholesaler has their eye on what the market's doing. They know people who are looking to sell their houses. So the person in the middle can connect the real estate buyer and then the real estate seller. That's what the person does. They connect these two and they get a fee or a cut in the middle there. So you can essentially hire somebody to go and do that for you, find properties for you, or they might have a list already, or you could be that person, the wholesaler. You can wholesale your own properties and make yourself some money by selling it to yourself. So essentially you'd have two different properties. My partner's on the steps watching me. Is dinner ready? Yeah. Okay. I'm going to continue this afterwards. I might edit that part out. Probably not. But all right.
Making major moves. We going all in. Like we got nothing to lose. We making moves. We making major moves. We making moves.